Hello everyone. In the first of the bead weaving series, I have a tutorial for you to make this beautiful ring as a combination for the earrings that you can see there. The materials that you need for these are this kind of crystal. So this is not a Swarovski's crystal, it's kind of acrylic or plastic, I guess. We also will be needing size 15 seed beads and size 11 beads in two colors. So these are the two colors I have. So the names are mentioned on the label, as you can see, but I'm going to call them light blue and dark blue for now. And this is a look-alike Delica bead. This is Nymo thread size D, and the needle that I'm using is size 10. So let me show you the measurement of this crystal that I have here. I'm not very sure about the exact measurement, but for your reference I'm putting it against a tape. So it appears like it's about 8 mm. It has a casing outside, so it is 10 mm, but when you remove the casing, my guess is it will be 8 mm. Since I don't have calipers, I'm not able to tell you the correct size. So to begin, you will have to remove this outer casing. It is made of very soft metal, so you can easily use your fingers and remove it instead of using any tool, because you risk getting it damaged if you use any sharp tool there. Yeah, open out those prongs like that, and then you'll get your crystal. So this is something like plastic. It is not Swarovski or expensive. And I find this in the embroidery section in the craft shops. It's usually used to sew it onto the clothes or the fabric. Okay, so here with but I usually use this for most of my beadwork. I'm starting by by threading on 28 Delica beads onto my thread and making it into a circle like this and passing it through one of the beads, and when you pull through it will become into a circle. So you should note here that I am keeping half my thread to work afterwards, and only half of the thread that I have taken I will be using to do my work now. That is because I want to avoid adding thread later on. After making that circle, pick up one bead, skip one bead, and pass your needle through the next bead. Again, pick up a bead, skip a bead, and pass it through the next bead. So in the first round we put on 28 Delica beads. So in this round we'll be putting on 14. That is half of 28. Even if you keep out 14 beads, if you think that will help you, you could do that also, because you don't want to miss out and either add more or lesser in this round. So continue like this. Initial rounds you have to be very careful because we are going to build it on this, so the numbers have to be exact here. And when you complete, add all the 14 beads in this row. So there will be a small step up which I will show you now. We are approaching the end of this circle. As you can see, my tail thread is there and it is in the way, but it's okay, but just push it away like that and continue working here. You see here now, when you pick up a bead, you have to skip one and pass it through the next bead. And after passing through the next bead, you will also go into the first bead that we added in this round. Okay, so that is called as a step up. So here you will be passing through 2 beads, and that completes this row. Your work should appear like this, like brickwork. And you can see some beads are out and some beads are in. So now from now our beadwork is little more easier, because it's easy to know where to place your next bead. So pick up one 15 size bead now and pass it through the bead that is sticking out like that. Again, in this round also you will be using 14 beads only. This is the inner circle of the ring. So you have to work it in this way only. So you have to work it inside rather than work on the outside. Okay, when you add all the 14 beads, see again there will be a step up. Let me show you. See here, this is the last bead that you will be adding, and then the first bead that you added, you will go through that. That completes that round, and this is the position of the crystal, and this is how it will appear. When you finish this center round, we have to go to the back now. To go to the back, you will have to take your thread like this. Okay, so in the thread path, without the thread being shown in any way, you will have to take it out in the same path as the beads. Now this is the back of the ring that we are going to work now. We will be making one more round with the delica beads. So again another 14 beads you will have to add in the spaces that are there. So it's easy for you to see them now, because the beads are all sticking out. Again, like I told you, you will be adding 14 beads here also. And when you are about to end this round, again there will be a step up. You take your last bead, go through the bead that you started with, and also the first one that we added in this round. Okay, see, you will be passing through 2 beads. That's called a step up. And in this round, when you pull your working thread, it will form into a cup like this. This is the time for you to add the crystal. So add it facing down, because like I told you, the part that we did earlier was for the top part, and this is for the back of the ring. You will have to hold the crystal in your hand like this. It will keep slipping, but you have to just hold it in place. And now it's time to add the next round of beads, and that will be size 15, the smaller beads. And it's the same process here again. You are going to pass one bead through all the beads that are sticking out. So again that means you will have 14 beads in this round also. And as you're adding these small tiny beads, you just keep giving it a little tug, and inside the ring rather than outside, so it will encase the crystal nicely. So if you're going to think that I can do the pulling part in the last, it may not be as secure and as good as when you do it as you are adding those beads. Okay, so keep pulling and making it more into a cup and casing the crystal here. So this process of adding beads around a crystal or a stone or a bead or a pearl is called as bezeling. Okay, so that is a term used by the silversmiths and goldsmiths. I will be, maybe you can look it up and Google it. So bezel is the word for that. And what we are doing is we are bezeling a crystal. And we have reached the last one now. Like I told you, there will be a step up. Your needle will go through these two beads for the step up. Okay, so if you hold it tightly and give it a little more pull, they will all sit and hold the crystal tightly. In the next round, we are going to do something called as netting. Okay, that the term that we use for this stitch is called netting. Like a net, you're going to make like a net to hold the crystal. So pick up 5 delica beads. Your thread is coming out of the small size 15 bead. Now skip one of the small bead, that is skip one of the size 15 bead, and insert your needle into the next one. There are 5 delica beads on your thread, and on the ring you are going to skip one of the small beads and insert your needle there. Again pick up 5 more delica beads, skip one and go through the next size 15 bead. Again pick up 5, skip one size 15 bead, go through the next one. Here again also you will have these groups of 5, you will have 7 of them. So continue like this. At the same time, make sure that you hold on to the crystal flat and make it as flat as possible. Sometimes because it is very slippery, the crystal can move, and the shape of your ring can change. So make sure that you hold it nice and flat in its place. And the last 5 here. So the last 5, now you'll have to put your needle through the first bead that you started. So that is how we complete the round. So insert your needle in the first bead that, or the place where you started first, and your round is complete now. The net doesn't want to sit in its place now. Okay, here we go. So once it's completed, now you have those groups of 5 beads that you put on, right? So you will insert your needle into the first 3 of them and come out of that third one. So technically you are in the center of that group of 5 beads. Next, pick up one delica bead and go through the center of the next group of 5. The center means the third bead. Okay, pick up one delica and go through the center of the next group of 5. So like I told you earlier, this is a netting technique. So we are making a net for the crystal to rest at the back. Continue around like this. Yeah, we have completed the no, we have yet to add one more, I think. Yes. Yeah. Pick up a delica, go through the center of the next group of 5. And we have come to the end of that this round. Here, I'm sorry, I had to pick up a delica bead and then pass through the starting of the round, which I did not do. So there is a mistake. I have already filmed it, and I noticed it only when I was editing. But because this is the back of the bead and there was no further rounds to do, I did not miss it. So that is okay for now. See, you can see even as I was holding the crystal nice and flat, it still moved, and so I had to give it a little push to make it to be in the center. Now as you pull on to the working thread, they will all come together like a net, and it will hold the crystal. So though we have finished the back of the ring, it's not over until you tighten all this up properly. So go through all the beads that you added in the last row once again, or twice or thrice as the bead hole permits. And each time make sure that you give it a little pull so that your netting becomes nice and tight. You will be passing through the new bead that you added in this round as well as the center bead of the group of 5. Okay, pass through all of them once or twice. You see, as you keep pulling and passing through, your netting will become tighter. And when you are satisfied with how tight it is, you can start making knots there at the back and complete this netting. So because these delica beads have got large holes, it allows us to do multiple rounds with the thread. If it was any other bead, you cannot go like more than twice or thrice. So these holes are bigger, so you can go through them even 3 or 4 times if your thread and needle is also thin. Okay, now I am satisfied with how tight it is, so I am going to wind up the thread by making some knots like this. So the beadwork that you do must be neat, and your thread knots and beginning and ending and all must not be visible at all. So that is the good sign of making neat bead weaving work. As you practice, you will become more better at it. But even I am not such a great neat beadworking person, but I have seen so many people doing such neat work. So this is the maximum I can say. No, this is my best attempt of keeping my work nice and neat. So time to wind up and break off the thread. See, at this point you can, after you have made the knots, you can either cut off the thread or keep it, because maybe you want to add something else later on, so you need the thread. You can, or like I am doing, I am going to take the same thread up and I am going to start making the design at the side of the ring. So I am using the same thread, but I still made knots before I started making the design in the side. See, now I have brought the needle up from the back. I have brought it to the side of the ring, and see, the position of the needle should be like in the second round. Okay, notice where the thread and the needle is now. So I have come up till here to start my next round here. I am taking one dark color, one light color and one dark color. So 3 beads in total. I am picking up 3 beads and passing through the next bead in that same round. Okay, you can easily get lost in this beads there because they all appear like as though they are belonging to the same line. So you have to watch out carefully and make sure that you weave into the same line. So again the beads will be sticking out for us to easily identify, but sometimes when it's not so obviously sticking out, then you will have to make your judgment about that. So after doing the 3 bead picot, I have picked up only 1 bead of the light blue color and passed it through the next bead like this. Again I will make a picot. So this 3 bead peak is what I am referring to as the picot. Okay, they may not sit like a peak when you weave it, so you'll have to give it a little nudge with your a needle to make it sit like a triangle or like a peak there. Here now I have to pick up only 1 light color bead and pass it through the next bead in that line. You will continue alternating between 3 and 1 bead till you finish this round. But what you should really watch out is that you work all this in the same line. Maybe I should have zoomed in a little bit while filming to show you exactly what I mean by the same line. But if you look into your work, if you're doing along with me, you will see that there is a certain line and you'll have to follow that. And why it is so difficult is because it's easy to get lost or to lose track of the line that in which you are working. We are approaching the end of this round. So I am already ready to wear it or to see how beautiful it's looking. And in this round also you will have 14 units, that is 7 units of the peak and 7 of the singles. And the last one is the light blue color bead. And the last step will be to complete this round. You will have to go through the first the bead from where you started, so that completes this round. Yes, so this simple design for a ring is completed. There are many different ways in which you can add more rounds and more pearls or beads or other things, but this is a simple one, and I am finishing it with just 1 layer of picot and one single beads there. Here I go again trying to see how beautiful it's going to look. Okay, bring your thread to the back of the ring and it's time to wind up that thread now. Now whenever you are finishing off or winding up a thread, you will have to make several passes in the same direction as the beads. Okay, you will not take it across and up and down in any direction that your needle goes. You will have to make sure that your needle that you pass through in the same way as you did the bead weaving. Only then your knots and your thread will not be seen, otherwise they will be seen as an addition when you look at the back. So wherever you see a thread bridge and it's possible to make a knot, you can make a knot there and then move along in the same direction as the beads and make a knot in another place also. So at least you make 3 knots is good enough. And sometimes if I have some extra thread and then the bead hole is also nice and big, I tend to make about 3 or 5 or 6 also, but that's not necessary. Make some knots again in different places. Okay, so this part is done. Like I already told you earlier, you can maintain this and make the band for the ring, or you can use the thread that we left quite a sufficient amount of thread in the beginning on the other side, so we'll use that thread to make the band for the ring. So that is what I usually do. I keep half the thread to work later and half the thread I finish working on one side. That's because I don't want to add thread again and again. Here, see, I've come out of one of the silver color delica beads. I picked up one dark blue and one light blue. I'm passing the needle with those 2 beads. I'm passing it like this to start our band for the ring. And after we put on one dark blue and light blue bead, I'm just turning the ring to show you the placement. You can either work from the front or from the back also. So if you hold it like this, you can see I put on the 2 beads. Now I am passing my needle through one of them. And now pick up one light blue and one dark blue. Go down the dark blue bead. See, as you place both of them, they will form see like this. So this will be the band that goes around your finger. I am showing you both the front and the back because sometimes it's easier to work from the back and sometimes in the front. And now pass the thread from the left side to the right side. Go up 2 beads. See, as we move forward in this, you will be able to see exactly how the stitch is done. Maybe the beginning is not so clear. Okay, come down 2 beads. So pick up 2 beads and come down 2 beads. The 2 beads that you pick up should coordinate with the direction in which you are working. Come down 2 beads and go up 3 beads. Okay, again pick up one light blue and one dark blue. Go down 2 beads, or sorry, even 3 beads is also okay, and go up to start the next section. Again, see, you can even do come down 1 bead and go up 2 beads. Okay, pick up one light blue and one dark blue, go down 2, come up 3. It can even be go down 1, come up 2 also, depending on how strong you want the the ring band to be. Because this is a place where there will be a lot of wear and tear, so that's why I am making it doubly strong here. Otherwise you can simply make a go down one and come up two, which will be a little more flexible. So this will be nice and hard. So you'll continue like this to the length that you want. That see this part of the band that I made, see when I bend it like this, can you see how rigid and hard it is? Because we passed multiple times through that. But see this part, you see is so flexible because it's the way that I made the stitch. So if you just go down one bead, okay, and come up two beads, this will give you a more softer band versus the hard one, the rigid one. Again pick up two beads, come down one bead and go up two. You should excuse my lighting. There is a lot of problem which I did not notice while filming. I'll have to check on my lighting once again. Okay, come down one bead, go up two beads. And not to forget that you're adding beads each time, okay, in the colors in which you will, as you can see which colors you will have to add as you go along. Now you will have to check if this is the way we are going to attach. So you will have to check by putting it around your fingers or for whomever you're making. Just check the size and then we will attach this. So this band will be attached exactly on the other side of the crystal or bezel that you can call now. So make sure and understand where you will be attaching it first, okay, because it should be exactly on the opposite side, in the same line. It cannot be crossways. So these are the two beads which I'll be using to attach this band, okay. So that was the exact two beads which are exactly opposite to the one from where we started. Okay, so now the thread is coming out of this left side bead. Now watch here, insert your needle from the left to the right of the silver bead that you have marked for attaching it, okay, and bring your needle through the next silver bead that we identified for attaching, and now take your needle up on the left side or the other side of the band. Okay, you can go up one or two beads because we are going to do this multiple times to make it nice and sturdy there. Okay, see when you pull like this, your band is attached to the other side. So even before, if you move further, you could even check once again if you have attached it correctly and then move on. And this place is because you are attaching it here, you have to do multiple passes so that it stays strong and will be durable. And to do multiple passes, so you'll have to do the same thing again, like how you attached, the same method you'll have to do 2 or 3 times, so it will be attached nice and tight there. Okay, bring your bead up, needle up again. So each time you can bring it up in a different place, sometimes 2 beads up, sometimes 3 beads up, or even 4 beads up, like that. So as you make multiple passes, your band will be attached securely to the side. Okay, and when you are satisfied with the passes that you have done, I'm going once more again, because there is possibility of doing one more. There is space in the beads also. Sometimes the bead holes will get covered with the thread and you may not be able to make this pass. So if there is space and your needle goes through, you can just make another one. Okay, but don't make so many passes where it is going to be difficult for the thread to pass through the beads, because at this, if you do that, your beads will break. If there are many thread passes through the holes, the bead can also break. So you have to watch out for that. Don't make too many passes also. About 3 is good enough. So now I've made about 3 or 4 passes, I guess, and I am taking the needle through all the beads on one line. Okay, this is going to make the band a little more stronger, and also it will give a good shape also. So pass through all of them till you reach the other end. Okay, so in the other end again, you can again reinforce it once or twice to make it nice and sturdy on the other side, on that side also. So this all depends on your how much thread you have. I mean, not exactly the thread, of course. If you don't have thread, you'll have to add one. See, 2 or 3 times is good enough. But if you have some thread and you don't want to waste it, you can as well make some multiple passes. But be sure that you don't force it into the beads, or the beads will break because of the pressure inside the bead hole. If you pass many threads through it, it won't last, it will break. Okay, now I guess there's no more space for the bead thread and needle to go through. I'm going to finish my work by adding some knots in between as I do these passes. See, always your intention to finish your work should be to do it neatly. So you cannot just wind up your thread wherever you want to. You will have to do it in the same direction as the beads, and also in places. And the knots must be small and not visible. So only then your work will look neat. Okay, so I guess with this, if there is place for one more knot, I think I'll go for that. Make another knot there. After making the knot, pass the needle through the beads. So what will happen is, when you pass it like this, your knot will go inside the beads. If there is place, it will go inside the beads and your knot won't be seen outside. Okay, so here I finish it and cut off the thread. Yeah, now it's done. See, when you wear it for the first time, it might appear a little tight, but it will get loose after one or two uses. So it's rather be a little, slightly tighter when you finish it. Once again, showing you all the parts of the ring and how it should appear. See, it should be neat like this. I can't say this is very neat, but still you can't see the knots and you can't see the thread passes that much. So I would consider this fairly neat. Thank you for watching, and if you like my tutorial, please like, share and subscribe.